Hi, my name is Shameika Prentice. I'm from St. Kitts in Nevis. I currently attend National Taiwan University of Science and Technology, or NTUST, and I'm a master's student in the Civil and Construction Department. However, I'm in the Division of Information Technology. My undergrad is civil engineering, and my associates is architecture. So I'm kind of well-rounded, you could say. Prior to coming to Taiwan, I was an estimator slash project manager slash coordinator kind of stuff. So I was more so someone that would write specs for companies that are working on projects like hospitals or banks or those kind of stuff, and also supply them with the materials in terms of doors, frames, hardware. The company I worked for called CSS Caribbean, they also have about maybe 5 offices in different Caribbean islands. And so I was under the architectural hardware department. And besides writing specs and supplying materials for them, I also had the opportunity to outsource different companies that would meet the requirements for the project in terms of fire alarm and safety. Yeah. So I worked there for about 3 years, and then I decided to come to Taiwan. Yeah. I think because I've always been good with my hands. I like taking apart things, and also because I was always a daddy's girl, and at the time my dad was working on our house, and I remember he took me to our house being built, and I noticed, well, there's no females here. You know, it was just a full male dominated industry. So I thought, okay, well, I'm interested in it. Art was also something I enjoyed. So I said, let me try it. I think it's the way they teach. I mean, like some of my friends, actually one of my best friends, she's also a civil engineer, and she went to UE. And so she went before me, and then I went the year after coming to Taiwan, and I got to communicate a lot with her about her courses and how they would teach in class. It was more so hands-on and not just this lot of writing and stuff. So for me, listening to her get that practice, going to a construction site, meeting with different people, that's something I kind of envied. And so being here, I realized that it's more so what we say, shumien, or you're constantly reading and trying to force all this information into your mind, and you don't really get that much practice. I mean, besides classes like your structural theory or your concrete classes where you actually go into the lab and practice, there's not that many hours. So, and for me, I'm more of a practice visual kind of person, so I need to connect physically what I need to do versus just reading about it. And for me, that was kind of rough, but I still was able to overcome that. But I think that's one of the biggest problems, and also the language barrier, because as much as the universities say that they have this international population, chances are you're 0.01%. So the curriculum is basically designed around Taiwan and their language. And so, you being a native English speaker, you don't really have that much resources or assistance. So you have to really rely on your professor or rely on your classmate who is bilingual to help you, or you have to basically force yourself to do a lot of translations and so on. So yeah, that's one of the other differences, I think. For me, I am older than all of my classmates. I have experience over all of my classmates. But you find that when you go into a classroom, your professor is either the same age as you or a little older than you, or you're senior. And so rather than, they wouldn't really know that you have the experience, but they speak to the whole class as if you're kids, or there's not much respect and that kind of stuff. So sometimes when you go to them to talk about something, unless you tell them, hey, I've done this before, then they kind of talk down to you a bit. I've experienced that before. Or even like, I had this particular lecturer who I ended up reporting to my head of my department, because like it was just the level of ignorance I had to deal with. And also like the culture of constantly rushing. Oh my God. For us, I think how we learn and how we practice, like doing our work, we have a deadline, we are on top of it. But here, the culture is everything is last minute. So, they want to be on their face, lack of communication. I think those are a few of the things that I've really, really struggled with here. Because I'm somebody that's more about sustainable building, I don't really like a lot of concrete and them kind of stuff. I want to make sure that you're also you're not impacting the environment in a negative way. And, being in Asia, there's a lot of pollution because of, transport and stuff. So I like designs that incorporate nature, so they have a lot of greenery. Whether it is, which is what I'm going to mention now is quite expensive, but thermal heating and stuff using glass and stuff, because here they like a lot of glass and it's pretty, but it comes with heat. How do you use that heat to your advantage? Because here we also have winter, so you could use that heat that you're generating to help cool down your building and all that stuff. So I think there's this one building, I can't remember what it's called or where it is, but it's basically winding, and I love curves. I'm not the person that likes basic boxes, too boring, and I have curves too, so I don't know, humor there. So I like things that mesh with curves and greenery and stuff. And I think there's this building, I think it's in Tamsui. I think it's I'm not sure if it's residential or business, but it's very beautiful and it has nice curves. There's greenery. There's also, I like juxtaposition, which is like different pushing in or out of different surfaces and so on. So there's also another building like that. I would say take the opportunity. Yes, it's going to be a challenge. Yes, you're going to need the language. So definitely, start working on that. But I'd say try and network. I think that's something I would say I regret not doing, because I was so immersed in work and like trying to understand stuff. I didn't really take time to network with my lecturers and stuff. I did get the opportunity at one point to work with one of them on a project and stuff. So, but I would say, had I done more of that, I would probably be in a better position in terms of finding a job and stuff and not having to do what I'm doing now. So I would say be open to opportunities and don't look at the fact that, okay, there is going to be a language barrier. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. Yeah.